pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra.
Welcome to the NFC West Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things NFC West from the best creators in the division, including Los Angeles Rams creator Jake, San Francisco 49ers creator Jesse, Seattle Seahawks creator Brandon, and Arizona Cardinals creator Mike. Catch the NFC West Roundtable every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got John, we got Chris F, we got Daniel, Michael again, Ian, Juan, Aaliyah. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys for being here. Definitely do me a huge favor. Smack up the like button here on your way in. And if you saw the commercial a little earlier, we're going to have the NFC West Roundtable later on today at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you guys can be so kind, go on over there, subscribe over to the NFC West Roundtable, subscribe it up, smack the like button, and join the chat, because I kid you not, every single Tuesday, I'm battling it off, ladies. I'm battling it off from every single side of the coin. Rams fans, Seahawks fans, 49ers fans that are not going to be puffing out their chest because they ended up beating the Arizona Cardinals by 1 point. Regardless of how they did it, they are now advancing to 3-0. Unfortunately, Cardinals dropped to 2-1. Seahawks are 2-1. The Rams are now 2-1. So this is going to be a massive game. A massive game for the Cardinals heading into week 4 on a Thursday night football game when we still don't know if Paris Johnson Jr. is going to be going, and we still don't know if Will Johnson is going to be going as well. So we got a lot to dive into today. Cardinals versus Seahawks. How is this game going to shake out? Now, if you didn't read the title of this video, I've seen multiple comments, ladies and gentlemen. Is there hope? Is there hope? Fan base, people in the chat, let me know. Do you have hope that the Arizona Cardinals could potentially win this game? Let me know in the comments, because from the comments that I've seen so far in my preview that I just released probably around 9:30 earlier today, there doesn't seem to be a lot of hope. There doesn't seem to be a lot of hope, and it's probably because of the comments of Jonathan Gannon. It's probably because the comments of Drew Petzing, and it's probably because they're making it seem like it's all kumbaya and everything is fine when we got a real big problem here. And that's the offensive side of the ball that the Arizona Cardinals unfortunately cannot seem to solve. Now, this has been a problem that we've been plagued with for years now, right? Monty Ossenfort has came into this offseason and said, nah, bro, we are good, right? We are good. So now the Cardinals have made their bed. Now they got to lie in it. Now, where are the Arizona Cardinals going to be going from here, right? Because this ain't going to be an easy game. Not going to be an easy game one bit. We got very little rest. The Cardinals aren't the most healthiest team, specifically in our secondary when it comes down to our young cornerbacks. I am very much looking at the injury report. What does it look like? Who's going to go? Who's not going to go? But I feel like this is going to be a game that's going to be very gritty. This is going to be a game that's going to be very NFC West centric. There's going to be a game that is going to come down to probably a field goal at the end of the day. This is kind of what we've been grown to seeing with a Arizona Cardinals versus the Seattle Seahawks type of, game. And I don't think anything's going to change. So let's dive into what people have to say here in the chat. This is the this is the level of optimism here. We got my guy Ryan in the chat saying start Jacoby. This is the level of what we're seeing, ladies and gentlemen. Here, let me tell you something real quick, Ryan. I'm not going to throw the shame bell at you. No, I will never, ever throw unless there's some Seahawks fans or 49ers fans out here trying to talk a mess, I will never throw a shame bell on any Cardinal fan out there. They're just looking for some sort of response. But this is what it seems like Cardinal fans are having to resort to right now. Either A, start Jacoby, or people coming out here saying the Cardinals are going to get beat, or the Arizona Cardinals aren't just going to show very well against the Seahawks. Let me tell you one thing. I've been watching the NFL. I know a lot of you guys have been watching the NFL probably longer than me, right, in this chat. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. It doesn't matter that the Seahawks scored 44 points last week and the Arizona Cardinals only scored, 15 points last week? It don't matter. It doesn't matter. When it comes down to the NFC West, you never know. It's any given Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, and it just kind of depends on how these plays are being executed, right? What we do know right now is the Cardinals' bread and butter, running the ball, ain't it. Now, another big hit that the Cardinals have taken is that it's been confirmed by every source outlet out there that James Conner is done for the season. And he was the heart and soul of this offensive side of the ball. Brought the physicality, brought the dog mentality. How are the Arizona Cardinals offensively going to be able to bounce back when losing such a big piece on the offensive side of the ball, right? That's going to be something I'm really going to be keeping my eyes on. Who's going to bring that physicality? Who's going to bring the, hey, I'm stepping up for this team? Who's going to do that? Is it Kyler? Is it this offensive line, which hasn't looked so great when it comes down to a running of the ball? Is it going to be a wide receiver that steps up and say, hey, I'm going to be that guy, right? A lot of questions to be answered here. Big hit for the Arizona Cardinals losing James Conner for the remaining of the season. He's done. But now gives an opportunity here for Trey Benson. What's Trey Benson going to do? I don't know. I have faith that Trey Benson's going to be really good. He's already had 2 really good explosive plays on the run. And I've liked Trey Benson coming out of college. I even made a video the moment we drafted him. Oh, man, we got a home run hitter here, right? It's just he's been living in a world behind James Conner this whole time. So he hasn't really got a chance to kind of break out. But this is going to be very fascinating to see how the Cardinals are going to be able to attack this Seattle Seahawks team. What are they going to do? Are they going to lean heavily on the run like they've been doing? Or are they going to take the more, let's try to get this ball down the field and push it down the field? Well, we're going to have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out, right? We got Aaliyah in the chat says, I feel like we should be able to beat the Seahawks. Well, there you go. That's probably the most positive I've seen a Arizona Cardinal say something like that, right? That's the most positive that I ever see. I even have Robert over here saying go D-backs. He's like F the Cardinals right now. It's all D-backs right now. And yes, if you do not know, the Arizona Diamondbacks right now, if you're a baseball fan, they are in contention. They got 2 series that are very important that they got to win these and probably potentially sweep. It ain't going to be easy. But yes, absolutely go D-backs 110%. We got my guy saying all the wide receivers let Kyler Murray down. Well, yeah, listen, watching the last game, and what we ended up seeing, Kyler Murray was in the bottom tier of people to put the blame on in that loss. Bottom, right? Bottom. Now, was there games or was there plays to be made? Yeah, I would be the first to tell you that. I don't sugarcoat anything, right? I'm not going to show you anything that, I don't truly feel. I'm one of those guys that love to keep it real with you guys. I've always been like that. I think there is plays that were out there to be made from Kyler, but I wouldn't put this game on Kyler when it comes down to it. Those drops were crucial. Those drops were horrendous. The defense was very, very good for the Cardinals other than that last drive, which I get it in a sense, but they did play a little too conservative. They allowed Mac Jones to kind of sit back there and pick apart our middle of the field when seemed like we were playing a lot of zone. So finger pointing can go anywhere. Drew Petzing also has a play into this as well. Why you would run James Conner or Trey Benson into a stacked box with 7 people is beyond me. I don't get it. So it's an accumulation of a lot of different reasons, right? And let's not forget, Chad Ryland did miss a field goal earlier this game as well. So Chad Ryland missing a kick could have been the difference for us probably winning and having them to actually score a touchdown as opposed to a field goal. Everything is in play. But right now, all we can do is turn the page and see what the Arizona Cardinals can do against the Seattle Seahawks. But I do agree, the wide receivers, unfortunately, need to figure out the case of the dropsies because although I believe in Marvin, and I always will believe in Marvin Harrison Jr., I still do think that he needs to get plays designated for him to get the ball early and keep him in rhythm. And right now, unfortunately, Drew Petzing hasn't been able to do that. Studio in the chat says, remember that one drop early in the game for Michael Wilson? Thoughts? I don't remember a drop from Michael Wilson. You might be right. I don't remember it, though. I don't remember. I know there's 3 crucial drops. Actually, I guess 3 crucial players that has dropped the ball. The ones that stick out to my mind is Amari DeMarcado, Marvin, and Zay. Those are the 3 crucial drops or players that dropped the ball that were crucial. Now, arguably, Marvin Harrison Jr. had 2 of them, right? The one in the end zone that was probably going over to the Zay. And then you also have the one that was literally in his hands and he just dropped it, or trying to catch it with his body, whatever the hell you want to say. So it's rough. It's rough, absolutely. Mason the Chat says, I'm going to be at the game on Thursday. Another reminder for you guys out there that love to jump on for the Arizona Cardinals live play-by-play. We will not be doing it this week. So in 2 days, we will not be doing it. So if you're going to come to the channel, here's a reminder and a PSA. We are not doing the live play-by-play because I will be attending this game on Thursday Night Football. I got some family members coming from Seattle. They're Seahawks fans, and they want to come to this game. And I said, let's go. Right? It's been a while since I went to the Arizona Cardinals game. I don't have any more constructive stuff that keeps me here in my studio to do content elsewhere. It's different this year, so I am going to be attending this game. So I will not be doing the live play-by-play, but you better bet your bottom dollar we will be doing a live or a post-game reaction right after the game. Hell, it might be outside State Farm Stadium, just really depending on this game and how it all shakes out. But yes, we will not be doing a live play-by-play this coming Thursday, but next week or the following week we will be. So we'll go right back into the groove of things, but I will be attending this game as well. So just FYI. Ian in the chat says, can we get Will Johnson back this week? Well, question, Jonathan Gannon has been asked by the local media as well as our local radio station, Arizona Sports. I think John Gambadoro tried to get that out of Jonathan Gannon yesterday when they ended up having the talk every single Monday after a Cardinals game. And Jonathan Gannon is keeping very tight-lipped right now. He's not giving any information as to if he's going to say they're going to go or if they're not going to be a go. He's keeping everything very close to his chest. Does he know? We don't know, but as of right now, I agree with you. I would love to see Will Johnson out there, and I would love to see Paris Johnson Jr. back as well. And I think Kelvin Beachum did solid. I mean, he had a penalty here and there, but I think he actually did pretty solid for the Arizona Cardinals on the offensive line. I think what the Cardinals should do when Paris Johnson Jr. is healthy is replace the living heck out of Jonah Williams. Please, for the love of God, put Kelvin Beachum back there on the right-hand side. Please, for the love of God, let's do that. Will the Cardinals do it? Probably not, but we'll see. Dogface in the chat says, can we get a dub by any means? I mean, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I mean, let's be real. Now, anything's possible for the Cardinals to come out here and rebound, but this is going to be very, very telling, right? This is going to be very, very telling for the Arizona Cardinals to win this game, and because of what happened, right? Because what ended up happening in this last week with James Conner going down, it's going to be very telling. We'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out, right? We'll see. Now, I want to go ahead and shine this light on. This is either going to make you happy or not make you happy. I want to go ahead and show this on over to you guys here in the chat, where we got 3 wide receivers, 4 for the Cardinals, right? And you got 3 wide receivers, Seahawks number 1s, 2, and 3s. And then you got the Arizona Cardinals wide receivers, the 1, 2, 3, and 4 wide receivers. And if you're not going to, if this doesn't make you sick, I don't know what will. If this doesn't make you sick, I don't know what will. Marvin Harrison Jr. through three games so far has 142 yards. Your number 2 wide receiver has 21 yards, 3 receptions, 8 targets. Zay Jones, your number 3 wide receiver, which he's in concussion protocol per Jonathan Gannon. We don't know the status of if he's going to be playing in week 4 or not, but he is your number 3. He's got 29 yards, 3 receptions, 4 targets. And if you look on the Seahawks wide receiver stats on the other side, it is a tale of 2 different types of offenses, right? Jackson Smith and Jigba with over 300 yards, 323 yards to be exact, averaging about 14.7 yards a catch is insane. And he's already has, 1 touchdown on the season? So 1 touchdown on the season. Cooper Kupp, a reliable wide receiver, veteran wide receiver over there, already with 136 yards, and he's their number 2. And Marvin's our number 1. Look at that. 6-yard difference. Crazy. And then you got Torrey Horton, which I'm going to give some love on over here, man. Torrey Horton, there was a lot of Cardinal fans that really wanted Torrey Horton. I don't remember the specific subscribers that wanted him, but man, he is balling, whether it's in special teams or even throwing him out as a wide receiver. A rookie already has 64 yards right now. 8 targets, 5 receptions, played in 3 games, and he's got 2 touchdowns on the season right now. Yikes. Holy mother of God. 64 yards compared to our 2, 3, and 4 wide receivers. This is nuts. I don't like this. I want this to be fixed. This is definitely something that Drew Petzing needs to look at and kind of learn off of, because we haven't been able to do a fix from this Arizona Cardinals offense, unfortunately. So, yeah, I want to kind of show the light and show you guys these numbers. It's not good at all. And then our run game hasn't been very great either. So for what it's worth, there is that. So is there a path for the Cardinals to win this game? Yes, there is. There is a path for the Arizona Cardinals to win this game. But A, you got to fix your running game, which is probably hard to do within the short week that we have. And then you got to have more explosive plays down the field, right? You got to give you got to give Marv an opportunity. You got to give Michael Wilson an opportunity. You got to give Zay, if he goes, an opportunity. So it's going to be very interesting. So there is a world where the Cardinals win this game. But we probably, again, have to lean on the defense. I don't think we're going to be able to outscore anybody, at least in the near future. Can I be wrong? I could be wrong. But we'll see. We do got a super chat coming our way. Mario with the super chat. What's up, man? I'm sorry, not Mario. Dario. Good God. What the heck is wrong with me? All right. Dario in the chat saying this: Vegas has us at the favors. We're going to win this game because it wouldn't make sense 6 straight losses and only 1 home win versus the Hawks in the last 10 years. Is this true? I know the Seattle Seahawks for the past 3 years has swept us. Is this stat true? 6 straight losses, I know that part, but only 1 home win versus the Hawks in the last 10. I gotta fact check. Is that true? Holy mother of God, that's terrible. That's terrible. Wow. I didn't know. I know we've been swept by them for at least 3 years. That I do know. I did not know this other part here. I need to look into that, but I appreciate the $5 donation, Dario. Thank you so very much. Yeah, the Cardinals right now are kind of, this is a tough game. Let's put it that way. This is going to be a tough game. Is there a world where we can win it? Yes, of course. Any given Sunday, right? Any given Sunday, there is a world where the Cardinals can win a game, or any given Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, right? But it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough. We know with what we've seen from this organization, they're very, very... They got a lot of playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. Leonard Williams being one of them. I said this in my preview. I feel like he's the new Aaron Donald for Kyler Murray. He's the new boogeyman for Kyler Murray, unfortunately. And now we got to live in a world where they're coming here and we're wearing the Nike rivalry jerseys. I just hope we don't get embarrassed by said Nike rivalry jerseys wearing. And did you guys hear the media? Did anybody hear the media ask Kyler Murray today, "Oh, are you happy about us wearing the Nike rivalry jerseys?" What the, like, that's what we're wearing. That's what we got a man with very limited time and very limited questions to be answered. Kyler Murray answers it very beautifully. He says, "I'm just trying to win this game." Well, and he laughs, he scoffs. We got to win this game. Who cares? Who cares? This is for the fans to care about. This is for the fans to go, players can care 2 craps of what it is, especially with Kyler Murray right now. Kyler Murray's not worrying about, oh, how am I going to look with this, new Nike rivalry jersey. He can care 2 S's about that. Why are we asking him this? What the heck? Like, that's what we use the question on? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't think I ever will. Kyler Murray, much respect to you. Quote, "I'm trying to win this game. We got to win this game." That's it. Simple as that. I don't care what they're going to wear, to be honest with you. It's cool for me, I guess, as a fan to see it, a different look. But at the end of the day, what's more important to me is going to be, you got to win this game, right? You got to win this game. There's a lot of things riding on this game. You cannot start off 2-2 and 0-2 in the division. You cannot do that. Now, the Seahawks are in the same boat. They did also lose to the San Francisco 49ers. They had Brock Purdy to go against, and we had Mac Jones to go against. So they are in the same situation. They are back against the wall. They don't want to start off 0-2 into the division. We don't want to start off 0-2 into division, but the nature of the beast is one of us are going to start 2-2. And I hope it's not the Cardinals. Because if you think it's loud after the 49ers game, if you think it's loud in the 49ers game, right, with all the Cardinal fans that are getting upset, it's going to get worse. Twofold worse, right? In the comments that we saw a little earlier about starting Jacoby Brissett, which I don't agree with, right? I don't think the Cardinals should start Jacoby Brissett, but you're gonna have a portion of the Cardinal fans saying you need to start a new quarterback. Like I said, I'm not in the boat with that. I still do think that Kyler Murray is the best quarterback we have on this roster right now, and so does Jonathan Gannon, so does Drew Petzing. But you're going to see a good portion of the Cardinals, or maybe not a good portion, maybe a small portion, but you're going to see these comments out there if the Cardinals don't win this game. This offense needs to get fixed, and needs to get fixed fast. Fast. You think it was loud after the 49ers game? It's going to get worse versus the Seattle Seahawks game. Let me tell you that right now. You need to win this game. This is a home game, and you need to win it. Just point blank. Point blank. Michael in the chat saying, if we win this game, we can there you go. There you go. If we win this game, we can cheer the jerseys. Facts, 100%. Then you can ask the question, yeah, then how did you like yourself with the win with the Nike rivalry jerseys on, right? Then you can ask, 100%. I agree with you, Michael. But before then, we got 2 games to go into battle. Now, we're not going to battle, but these players are going into battle. They want to win this game. They started off 2-0, the best start they had since 2021. And then you can try to come out here and lose at home against a team that's been whipping on them for years. We know what's in front of us. The right mindset is there. Is the execution there? That's the question. Is the execution going to be better? Because Jonathan Gannon pissed off a lot of Cardinal fans out there. Jonathan Gannon pissed off a lot of Cardinal fans out there saying that he's got no problem with the offensive play calls that's been happening so far in these first 3 weeks. Now, chat, let me know how you guys feel about Jonathan Gannon coming out and saying that. I think I have a little bit different of approach now, if I'm going to be real with you. I don't think I'm as angry with the way he responded to that. I'm actually, I kind of respect it, if I'm going to be real with you, because I'm actually looking at this as the other side of the coin. Now, Jonathan Gannon ended up doubling down on this as well. It's not just like he was riding off emotion, because this clip that I'm going to show you here was after postgame, right? After postgame. So we're all pissed off. We're all mad. We all felt like we dropped one. The Cardinals should have won this game, right? Cardinals should have won this game 110%. But this is what Jonathan Gannon ended up saying after the game when he was asked about do you have any issues with the play calling?
I have no problems with the offensive play calling. Never will. I know exactly what we're calling. So if you got a problem with that, you should look to me.
If you got a problem with that, you should look to me. Well, honestly, now that I kind of took a step back and had multiple different sleeps, I actually don't have a problem with it. Because he said that even when he doubled down on it, that this is due to like execution. This is an execution issue, right? So if that's truly the thought and what he truly feels, I mean, you already have a lot of Cardinal fans really upset with you, right? I don't think they're like before this week, people weren't calling for your job, but guess what? You got the Kyler Murray stands and the people that want to fire Drew Petzing stands out there, right? They're coming after you, Drew. They're coming after you, JG. I just want you to know that. I don't have so much of an issue with it. I like Jonathan Gannon, and he doubled down on it. And on top of that, what kind of did make me upset, I'm not gonna lie to you. Actually, now thinking about it, it's a twofold thing, right? I'm not upset with what he said now that I had multiple sleeps. I'm not upset that he doubled down. What kind of got me a little irked was when he was on Arizona Sports talking to Burns and Gambo. And shout out to John Gambador. Man, this man he doesn't get very much respect, especially because, I don't know, within the most recent years, people don't think he's a valid source when it comes down to Valley Sports. F that. He's the best out there, and he probably always will be. But let's continue to talk about this. He ended up pushing the idea that, okay, well, this is, you've been under fire. What irked me was that Jonathan Gannon came out and said that he feels like Drew Petzing this last week on week 3 was his best game called. What the heck? That's what irked me. Because although, okay, you can believe that it's execution, right? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But to come out here and blatantly lie that's where it kind of got me a little like, okay, bro, like now you're just lying. Like I get it, you're trying to back your dude, but now you're just lying. Now let me go and share my screen here again because shout out to Tyler Drake of Arizona Sports for putting out this tweet. That's the one that kind of irked me a little bit. So he tripled down. Tyler Drake ended up coming out with this 23 hours ago, said Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon just told Burns and Gambo that he felt week 3 was the best game by offensive coordinator Drew Petzing has called this year. Oh my goodness. What the? That's the one that irked me. I ain't going to lie to you. JG, I respect it. I get what you're trying to do, buddy. I really do. But it just ain't. It ain't it, man. It's not it. We've seen multiple videos floating around, and I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, Drew Petzing was sending a running back into a stack box with 6, 7, 8 people there to stop him on the right side where they knew that they were going to run. Like, no, stop it. Get help. Jonathan Gannon, stop it. Don't do it. He did it though. He tripled down. The triple downs where I ended up getting a little like, bruh, like that's not okay. That's not okay. But let's see. Let's see what ends up happening here for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, let's take it to some comments here. Juan in the chat says, I hate a report. Honestly, I think there's some reporters that they do a really good job. I think there's some reporters that do a really, really good job. Do I want this media to be a little bit more like the New York media or the Philly media? Yeah, I would. I really would. It's never going to get there. I think that Michael Bidwell and what they have going on with the media relations going on, I think people really can't speak their mind because you might not get your credentials, right? And that's more important, right? That's more important at the end of the day. So I understand it. At the other side of the coin, you can't really ask the hard questions. But if you're not really asking the hard questions, what are you really doing, right? Are we just asking about their day? Like, oh, how's your day on a Tuesday? What the frick? No. Cardinal fans want to know what the heck is going on. What are you going to do to fix it? Why it hasn't been fixed? What are the steps you're doing to fix those things? And then the next week, if it hasn't done it, I'm going to tell you, well, you told me this week. What did you do to prevent that from happening? Or why didn't it happen the following week? Continue to put pressure on this organization. That's what I would love to see, right? I don't care about the day. I don't care about how your day's going. That's fine. When it comes down to it, you got a very limited sample size, limited time with these guys who ask these questions. Ask the right questions. That's all I can ask for at the end of the day. But there's really good reporters out there. There really is. So I'm not going to say all of them, but I had a little bit of an issue when people asking, well, are you happy about working the Nike rivalry jerseys? Come on now. Let's not ask that. We're 2 days away from going into battle. Arguably one of the biggest games of the year already. We can't start off 2-2. We just can't. To read a couple more comments here, we got Dogface in the chat says, I don't think they believe in Kyler Murray. They don't believe he can make throws and execute. Dogface, you're not the first one. I know I mentioned this probably a few videos back. If you were thinking this the whole time, I really hope you brought it to my attention before because I agree with this now. I really do. I think the Arizona Cardinals right now are saying everything they can to support their QB1, right? They're catering to Kyler, which is what you should do. I'm not going to come out here and say and fault them for doing that. They're doing exactly what they should be doing, right? They're catering to Kyler and everything they need to hopefully make him succeed. But I think at the end of the day, this is a serious conversation to have because honestly, if you're sitting back in the conservative side of it all, if you're behind the chains and you're calling 2 out of those 3 plays to get a first down and just giving up on a drive, it doesn't really feel like you're leaning onto the side of, oh, I truly believe in him. It's time to believe in him. Let him do what he needs to do, right? I know everybody's like, oh, he doesn't need to play Superman in this offense. Well, honestly, he might need to. He might need to because these dink and dunks, like we were talking all last year, ain't gonna cut it. They ain't gonna cut it. I don't think I heard anybody talking about dink and dunks, right? I know nobody talking about dink and dunk last year, but they're talking about it now. They're talking about it's the same thing that happened last year. Ain't nobody talking about dink and dunks like I was last year. But now people want to talk about it. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad it's now mainstream to now put it on the field and now show you what's been happening since 1 year already. It ain't different. It's nothing different here. It's the same thing that's been happening for over a year. But I'm glad that now the heat is starting to kind of come on. Let's keep it going here with the chat. You guys are a lot of you guys here in the chat right now. We got over 70 people here on the YouTube side, over 95 of maybe not concurrent viewers, but people that actually checked in. Do me a huge favor if you're on the YouTube side, smack the like button. Let's see if we can hit 50 likes by the time we end this live stream. Thank you guys for being here up and foremost. Appreciate y'all. Let's keep it with the chat. All American Man in the chat says, I'm okay with them moving on from Kyler as long as they bring in someone good, not going back to the same Bradford days. Oh, 100%. 100%. This is going to be a crossroads of how the Arizona Cardinals are going to be able to, if this is the direction that they're going to do. Now, to be honest with you, I still think the Cardinals are going to win 7, 8, 9 games. I'm going to be real. I think that's still an attainable thing to do. If one thing I will say is that I loved what Kyler Murray did in the second half versus the 49ers game. I loved what Kyler Murray did. It was a tale of two different halves. When you watch Kyler Murray in half one compared to half two, you're seeing what Kyler Murray could be if he allows the offensive line to try to protect him. I know Kyler Murray doesn't want to get hit. Hell, I don't want to get hit, right? I would get obliterated. But I'm also not getting paid $200 million plus, right? Kyler Murray in the second half versus the 49ers was stepping up in the pocket. He was sitting in the pocket, and he was delivering dots, delivering the ball to his wide receivers. I said this on my live play-by-play, and I'll say it again for the people that weren't there. Kyler Murray in half two versus the 49ers is what I want to see him build off moving forward in this year. Year one, we saw a lot of what we've been seeing from Kyler Murray. Escaping the pocket too quickly, bouncing out, happy feet. But what you saw in the second half, I'm almost kind of curious to figure out if Drew Petzing went into his ear or Jonathan Gannon came into his ear and said, hey, look at this film. You're escaping way too quickly. You're not allowing the plays to develop on the field. That might have been what happened because Kyler Murray in the second half was standing in the pocket, and I kid you not, he stepped up a couple damn times, and he looked good. He looked good. Believe me, I don't want to get hit either. I don't want to get hit either, but that is what you might need to have to do, Kyler Murray. Stay in the pocket, step up. Now, it's going to be a little different because I think the interior pressure for the Seahawks is a little different. It's probably better than the 49ers, so it's going to be a little different there. But yeah, Kyler Murray played better in the second half. Leaps and bounds better. And I want to see him build off of that. Let's keep it going here in the chat. Erwin in the chat says they should put Jacoby Brissett. I'm telling you, it ain't going to stop. It ain't going to stop. And it's going to keep happening until this organization wins big games with Kyler Murray under center. It's going to keep happening. Naheem in the chat says they should put Jacoby Brissett in sometimes. I understand Kyler Murray is playing, but at the same time, he needs to prove himself to be that guy. I don't think the Cardinals have to do it. I don't think they have because imagine a world where that is what people are starting to talk about. The Cardinals organization will and forever will be the organization to prevent anything unnecessary conversations to have. They don't want to have that conversation. They don't want to have a guy come in here and deliver a dot or two and then people opening their eyes and saying, oh, snap, did you see that? Which, small sample size, that doesn't mean he's better than Kyler. It doesn't, right? But imagine the divide that we already have. This fan base is so darn divided. Kyler Murray is the most polarizing athlete right now in the Valley that there's people that do not want him as the quarterback, and then you got the Kyler Murray stands that love him. They can't do anything wrong, right? We're already divided. People are already attacking each other. I'm right. You suck. You're not a Cardinal fan. Right? We're already attacking each other. Where everybody, imagine a world like that. The Cardinals won't do it. They won't. They're not going to do it. I don't think they should do it either. I personally don't think they should do it. It's going to cause a lot of unnecessary drama. Now, if they do it and it works, then okay. I mean, I'm cool with seeing Jacoby Brissett with the tush push. I'm cool with seeing Jacoby Brissett out there with the tush push. Kyler's not going to do it. That's fine. I know he said that he would do it if needed, but he doesn't got the stature to do it. Hell, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it either. So I don't blame Kyler for not doing it. We got Jacoby Brissett for doing that. That's why when we had Tune, we had the tush push, or the Tune push when Tune was here, because he was a bigger guy that's going to be able to get you inches, a yard if need be, right? So for what it's worth, there's that. But I mean, I respect it. I respect the thinking of different, trying to get this offense going. I respect it. Sergio in the chat says, I kind of miss Cliff Kingsbury air raid offense just for the excitement on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. Multiple stats out there indicating that the Arizona Cardinals aren't very good throwing the ball down the field is not new to me. It's not something that I'm like, oh man, that's a shock. I mean, some Cardinal fans, maybe they don't watch this channel, it's probably news to them, but this is something that we've all been preaching for years now, right? It's been something that we've been preaching for years now. Now, one of those reporters that I really, really do like, and there's 3 of them that I already had on my show that I absolutely think they do a fantastic job. Theo Mackey of AZ Central, Tyler Drake of Arizona Sports, and then my guy Donnie Duran of SI. They do a really good job of covering the Arizona Cardinals and being their boots on the ground. But shout out here, Theo Mackey. He ended up coming out with a stat out there not too long ago. Where was it? Where was the stat? Something about Kyler Murray being pressured or something like that. I gotta look for it. I'll look for it here if I can find it. There's so many tweets out in the world, but like, believe me when I say there's plays to be made on the field. There is, right? But like when you're seeing a play like this, right? When you're seeing a play like this being unfolded in the world of the Cardinals, and we can't come to an agreement for Cardinal fans for whatever reason, like, oh, like so many people are already throwing me under the bus saying, oh, you don't want Kyler Murray to succeed. That's why you're saying things like this. But like, if we can all come to an agreement and saying, oh yeah, that's a missed opportunity, then I think we would get to a much better space as opposed to, oh, you're not a Cardinal fan. Oh, you just don't want him to succeed, right? Because check this play out here, which is the last play of the game, Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers, and you can't tell me if you don't know ball, you don't think the Michael Wilson is open up here, right? And this was the actual right play. Now, whether Kyler Murray saw him or not, that's another debate for another situation. But I've had people screenshot this and put what seemed to be a shaky little line, right? And use their little online rulers and telling me, well, Michael Wilson is not beyond the sticks. That's why he threw it over to Zay Jones. Well, honestly, both are good options, but if I'm looking at the way this play unfolds, Michael Wilson's the better option, because check this out. Look at the separation between him and this cornerback here. Now, if he catches it, let's say, for example, this cornerback hits turbo mode and actually stops Michael Wilson short beyond the sticks, right? Let's say we live in that world. But guess what? I would rather live in that world right there and potentially the Cardinals going for a field goal compared to an interception or a play that doesn't work that's way over here. And we all know how this shakes out, right? This is going to be Zay Jones at the 30-yard line. Now, of course, this is a much manageable field goal to make if he catches it. And let's be real, if he catches it, we're not having this conversation. But this play probably was the better option for Michael Wilson. But of course, the stands out there say, oh, you're a hater, man. You're a hater. You're a hater. No, let's just learn. Let's learn. If we could learn from that, then that means we're not going to be seeing those things happen ever again. The problem is that we're always kind of coming to ourselves and try to make up excuses left and right. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, guys, it doesn't matter who's right. It matters if this thing gets resolved. The problem is that it's not being resolved. Coaching is not really working. Things that we want it to work ain't working. It ain't working. This is going to be a different beast that we're going to be having to deal with. We're going to be having to deal with a different beast in the Seattle Seahawks. Let's see what happens. We got a few people here in the chat. Let's highlight some comments. We got Andy. What's up, Andy? I'm going to be honest. K1 is not bad. He's just inconsistent. I think a second best quarterback in the AZ besides Kurt Warner. I like K1 more than Carson Palmer because he's a dual threat. Fair? I mean, that's fair. Ain't nobody. I don't think anybody can debate that Kyler Murray is probably top 3. Right? Top 3, whether you put him at number 2 or number 3, I think he's definitely up there as well. But when you evaluate Kyler Murray, within all the other quarterbacks in the NFL, is he top 10? Chat, let me know. Do you think Kyler Murray is top 10? Let me know in the chat. Do you think he's top 12, top 13, or do you think he's somewhere in the top 15? Where do you have Kyler Murray ranked right now? Because honestly, I would probably put him somewhere in the 13, 14, 15 mark, right? Just depending on everybody's different stats, right? I don't think Kyler Murray is top 10. I don't think he is. I think you can win multiple games with Kyler, but you're right. The highlight of he's not a bad quarterback. He isn't. It's just the inconsistencies, right? It's the kind of the boneheaded decisions sometimes where you try to roll out of the pocket, do something a little too much, and you potentially could have risked the Cardinals, giving up a safety, right? Now, thankfully, that didn't work. That didn't happen, and it kind of was reversed, which actually was never even called a safety to begin with, but that defense was like, oh, that's a safety, which I think we kind of got a little lucky on that one, if I'm going to be real with you. But, yeah, no, Kyler Murray isn't a bad quarterback. He isn't. It's just, are we going to be able to learn from all the mistakes that he's been dealing with since year 7? And so far, we haven't been able to see it. So for the people out there that's saying, is he the problem? No, he's not. He's not the sole problem as to why we're dealing with this. No, he is not. He is not the sole problem. But he's also not the answer. And if that doesn't make sense to you, let me know in the chat and I can try to explain it a little bit more. Right? And I'm not saying he's not the answer as to he shouldn't be the quarterback. No, that's not what I'm saying. He's not the answer means he's not the guy that's going to be able to get you out of these woes without everything being fixed perfectly. Everything needs to be perfectly in order for him to succeed in a role that he's in. He's one of the best athletic quarterbacks we've ever had on this roster, bar none. What he can do with his legs is crazy. It's freaky. It's amazing what he can do. But with what you need around him, it needs to be perfect. It needs to be perfect. And that's one of the main reasons why I was harping on the Cardinals need to get another wide receiver in this wide receiving core. That's why I was harping on it, because I don't want these excuses to continue. This is the year that we need to figure out, is he the future or if he's not the future? So I'm not saying that he's not the answer because he's not the quarterback for the Cardinals. That's not what I mean. Is he the guy to be able to elevate the rest of the guys on this team? And so far, we're not able to see that. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Miguel in the chat says the last game wasn't his fault. 100%. Oh, yeah. I agree. And I said that 5-6 times. It's not his fault. 100%. It's not his fault. No, it's not all on him. Nope. We didn't lose this game because of Kyler Murray. And I'm not sure if you just chimed in until when I was between my conversations, but I said this 2 or 3 minutes ago. No, it's not his fault. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Double in the chat says to win a Super Bowl, you need an above average quarterback, and Kyler Murray is not that. Kyler Murray is a very good quarterback. Very good quarterback. But I probably agree with this. Is Kyler Murray an above average? I mean, so far the people in the chat, when I was asking, is he top 10? Now, ain't nobody in the chat says he was top 10. We got Javier saying he's 16 to 20. We got Back to the Constitution say he's 15. We got Jeremy in the chat says 12 to 13. We got Juan. Oh, he's just Robert saying 25. Juan in the chat says 25 is nuts. He's definitely not 25. I'll put that down. I'll put my stake down. He's not 25. He ain't in 25. That's just disrespectful because you probably hate Kyler Murray. He ain't there. No. A real ranking of where he actually belongs is probably going to be somewhere in the realm of, 13, 14, 15, 16, right? Maybe even 17 to some people. He ain't in the 20s. Absolutely not. No, he's a better quarterback than that. Absolutely. It's just the inconsistencies. Can we fix the inconsistencies, right? So 15 puts you average, right? Let's be real. That's average. I mean, that's not bad. But in the NFL, in order for you to win these games, you got to be him, right? Jonathan Gannon, all the coaches say it's so hard to win in this team. In this league. It comes down to nuances. It comes down to the little things that you're doing in the game to actually elevate your team and to win a game in the NFL, right? But you're 100% right. Kyler Murray was not to blame as to why we lost the 49ers game. Nope, he was not to blame, 100%. The drops hurt. The conservative approach on the last drive didn't help, although I'm not blaming this on the defense. The defense did everything in their power for the Cardinals to win this game. But no. Kyler's not the full reason why we lost this game. Drops, play calling, predictability, not being able to get this offense going. Like, you can't sit here and tell me that in the first half, the Cardinals had the ball for 21 minutes and then the Seahawks had it for like 8 and change and we only mustered 3 points. Nah, man, that ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. Aaliyah in the chat says, I got faith in K1. Well, I mean, good. Keep the faith going. Keep the faith going. Keep the faith going because I think we need it as a fan base and everybody needs it. I have faith in K1. You might not believe I do, but I have faith that he's going to win his games. Do I have faith he's going to win as a Super Bowl? Well, I ain't there yet. I ain't there yet. I ain't that delusional, right? Now, he can prove us wrong. I hope he does. I really do. I have faith in K1 to win his games. Playoffs, that's a different beast. Are we going to crash and burn at the end of the season? That's a different question. That's a different question for a different day, right? But good. Keep it. Keep faith going. We need it. Well, hell, we all need it. Ian in the chat says, K1 was drafted to the worst franchise in the NFL and was given XFL rosters his first couple of years. Yes. Yes. But also, on the other side of the coin, this fan base allows it. So, I mean, yes, you're right, because it does take 2 or 3 years for the Cardinals to rebuild, but this fan base allows it. I mean, if this organization is going to continuously do it and the Cardinals fan base is okay with it because it's a rebuild, this fan base has never been big enough to make a big impact. This media has never been a media that's going to be able to make a big impact, unfortunately. So we're falling suit to a billionaire that does the things he wants to do to probably recoup money during those rebuilding years. So you might be right in a sense, right, that we have not had the best rosters around them. But let's be real. I mean, there has been quarterbacks that probably can do more than what Kyler Murray has been able to do with the rosters that we did have within the small time that we did, right? But this fan base allows it. Like, what are we supposed to do, right? How many times in 2023 did I want this Cardinals team to do something, but nah, it's rebuilding, right? 2024, the same thing. Oh, it's second year. It's okay. And the fan base allows it. So, I mean, at the other side of the coin, I mean, you're right in a sense, but like, this fan base allows it, so they're going to continue to do what they're going to do. I mean, how many people were hyping up Andy Isabella where I'm like, bro, no, that ain't it. How many people were hyping up Rondo Moore? I'm like, bro, that ain't it. But no, man. No, but Mike's negative. No, man, you're too negative about these players. I mean, sometimes you just see it. I mean, sometimes I'm wrong, but sometimes it just ain't it. Unfortunately, this fan base ain't big enough to make the noise that I was hoping that we were going to be able to make within the 7 years of me doing this, right? One thing I will say is probably I helped 1% to potentially get Steve Keim out of here. That's one thing I'll hang my hat on, is that I helped at least 1% to get Steve Keim out of here. That's one thing I can hang my hat on. But this fan base is so divided. This fan base is not united. This fan base does not speak the same message. It doesn't. So Cardinals will continue to do what they do, have 3 or 4 year real builds because we allow it. But you're right. I mean, the rosters weren't great. Double in the chat saying Kyler's 5'8". What? He's a 5'8" quarter pounder. Quarter. We've seen quarterbacks being able to do this with a small stature. So I don't think it's just height-wise. I do think up the middle of the field with your slants, with your drag routes, there's a lot of missed opportunity in that level of it all. But there's also the side of the coin is, are those guys, the defensive linemen, going to bat their ball, put their hands in the air and bat the ball down? There's also that risk, but there's a lot of opportunity in the middle of the field for the Cardinals to get those drag routes, to get those slant routes, right? For Kyler Murray to get those on. And unfortunately, that part of the game has not been able to elevate to the level that we need to see it. So I think he can succeed still. I really do. A lot of things need to be really work out very well for him to succeed, but I still think he can succeed with the stature that he is. Exactly. Juan in the chat says Russ won a ring, and he probably could have won a second ring. He probably could have won a second ring if they didn't, yeah, I don't think it's a stature of a problem like with his height. I think he just the coaching staff needs to get a little bit harder, man. The coaching staff needs to get a little harder on him. I'm going to be real. Like, they need to look at the film and they need to say, hey, this is a missed opportunity. Enough with this babying bull crap. Enough with this. Oh man, I would have done this, but I don't, it's okay that you did this. Enough with this. I mean, I don't know what the coaching style is. I don't know how they're coming into here and coaching Kyler. I don't know. I'm not in the room with them, right? But I have heard Drew Petzing come out and say that his approach is not to come on and harp on these guys because at the end of the day, they're the ones playing it, right? I heard with my own ears that is the way that OC Drew Petzing does things. And I guess it works to a sense, but if it ain't working and the same things that we've been dealing with from year 1 to year 7 ain't working, we need to do a different approach, right? If you're a leader, you have to have different ways to lead because guess what? You are different than me. Michael is different than me. Nick in the chat is different than me. Kojad, Juan, Ian, Claymore, they're all different than me. If you want to be a leader of men, you have to be able to lead in different ways. I was a supervisor in my past tenure and my past things, a manager, a couple things. But one thing that I learned is being able to teach people is so hard. And that's why they get paid the way that they do, because it's so hard to get people, grown men, get grown women to believe in your message that this is the way you need to do it because A, B, C, D, and E, F, G. And guess what? I'm going to teach Kojad differently than I'm going to teach Robert. I'm going to teach Robert than I'm going to teach Juan. I'm going to teach Andy different than I'm going to teach. It's all different. Everybody is different. And I'm just talking, I'm not saying me, but I don't like to get yelled at, right? I don't like to get yelled. I ball up in a shell, right? If I get yelled at, I ball up in a shell. So if I'm going to be talking to this guy that balls up in a shell, I'm going to take a different approach, but still have a learning opportunity here. Does that make sense? I'm trying to bring the real world into a solution here. I get it. It's football. And what I was doing was not football, but it's still human. You're contacting with human at the end of the day. These are human beings that learn differently. And I just don't think the guys that we have here don't get that. They don't understand it. There needs to be a little bit more of what we were doing with Kyler Murray, and he's still missing these things, and we're not getting in front of it, and we're not teaching them, then what the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing? Kyler Murray can be a better quarterback right now in year 7 if he did A, B, and C. What are those A, B, and C that all of us keep harping on? What are those A, B, and C things that Kyler Murray can get better at? Well, those clutch plays in those drag routes, those slant routes, right? Sometimes staying in the pocket a second longer, stepping up in the pocket and delivering a dot like we've seen in the San Francisco 49er game in half 2, right? And Kyler Murray, don't make mistakes. Those egregious mistakes that you are, those boneheaded mistakes. You're going to have fumbles. You're going to have interceptions. It's just going to happen, right? But those egregious ones that you're looking and saying, what did you do, right? Those things, I think Kyler Murray can be a much better quarterback if we can get those 3 things down. The plays that are short but are very effective. Trey McBride in a slant, Trey McBride in a drag route, Michael Wilson in a drag route, Marvin Harrison Jr. in a drag route. Everything within the 10, those plays aren't being utilized as they should be in this type of offense. Now, whether that's Kyler Murray not seeing it, but I'm blaming that on the coaching staff for not putting it so attention, saying this is where you need to go, right there. So Kyler Murray can be a better quarterback if he just manages those 3 things. Is there other things? Yeah, maybe. But Kyler Murray has the intangibles to be that guy. You're telling me what he did with his legs versus San Fran versus the Saints and the Panthers. There's probably 2 or 3 other quarterbacks in the NFL. 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the NFL can do what Kyler Murray can do with his legs. Only. The other people out there, they have their own game, right? You got to suit to their type of play style. Right now, I think we're in a crucial moment. James Conner is down. We got Trey Benson. Let's be more of a balanced offense, and you probably won't get it here in week 4 because it's a small sample size, a small time for a turnaround. But if the Cardinals offense or the Cardinals coaching staff and these leaders aren't going to make this shift sometime during the season, then that's a fault on them. big time, because Kyler Murray can still do it. I know he can. He got to get better in certain aspects of his game. And if that's not in his ear, then this guy will never get better. Because if I'm constantly always told you're doing good, then I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. If I'm keep telling him that I'm good, I'm fine, it's not on you. Okay, well, I'm going to keep rolling the way I roll. It's just the way it is. It's human nature. Double in the chat, doubling down with another super chat saying Trey McBride to the Eagles for Barkley. Nah, bro, stop that. Stop that. It ain't nothing to do with Saquon Barkley, but I ain't not giving up Trey McBride, one of the best tight ends we've had on this organization. Stop it. No, I get it. Saquon Barkley is a beast, and I know we're gonna miss a big chunk when it comes down to Connor. But I'm not. Nah, man. I'm sorry, buddy. Trey McBride is that important to me. I can't. Sarah in the chat says, Mike, we are tired of losing any excuses. I'm tired of it too. Trust me. I'm tired of it too. I don't know if there's any other people out there that are speaking to the actual facts and not trying to cover up a player that's, has opportunities. I don't know if anybody else does. I mean, I don't really listen to very much other things going on besides my little world here, but there's opportunities to be had. And if you're not fixing those opportunities, then we're just never going to go anywhere. Just like Jonathan Gannon said, we're going to have the same conversation over and over and over again. But I mean, to me, I wouldn't even answer it that way. What Jonathan Gannon ended up saying in his last press conference, well, we're going to have the same conversation over and over again. No, I mean, fix it. It's not, fix it. If it's execution and they're not fixing the execution, then maybe do something different, right? Maybe you got to force your hand and actually show that your job isn't your job. And it's not for certain. You're the coach. Your head is going to be on the chopping block too, Jonathan Gannon. I promise you, if this season goes awry, your head's going to be on the chopping block too. You already have Cardinal fans against you right now. They already have Cardinal fans against you right now because of the things that you said. It's time to put your money where your mouth is, man. Time to put your money where your mouth is. Fix it. Robert G on the chat says Kyler is out of opportunity. I mean, it's a big year for him. It really is. Mafia in the chat says Cardinals signed offensive lineman DeMondre Jacobs to the active roster, signed linebacker Elliott Brown and safety McMorris to the practice squad. Cardinals released defensive lineman. Cool. I appreciate it. Thanks, Mafia. Thank you so much. I'm not saying cool to offset your comment, but this is kind of what we're going with. I mean, but at the end of the day, who else is out there, right? So I guess cool. The Cardinals are addressing things. That's fine. At the end of the day, it's okay, but your number 2, 3 and wide receiver are sitting with these stats, and you don't think there's a problem there? Come on now. We all talked about it. Look at Torrey Horton. How many Cardinal fans wanted Torrey Horton? You know what I mean? And look at him. He's already flourishing. He's got 64 yards as a rookie. You got veteran Zay Jones. You got Michael Wilson heading into his year 3. Greg Dortch, gadget guy. Look at this. It's crazy. Get this offense going, man. Get this offense going. Got another super chat. Another super chat with another 189. Kyler McFlurry needs to stay in the pocket. I mean, I agree. I think he looked good in the pocket. I think he looked good stepping up in the pocket. Honestly, I was so damn proud of Kyler Murray when he was sitting in the pocket and not having happy feet. There must have been a conversation. There had to be a conversation had during halftime that he was escaping the pocket too damn fast. There had to be a conversation because he looked different. He looked different in the second half. Give me more of that, Kyler Murray. That's what I want to see. But Kyler McFlurry is wild. Kyler McFlurry, what the? Jay, what's up, Jay? With JG's comments, it's like he is co-signed for a car for someone with credit of 300 in the history of late payments. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I talked about this a little earlier. I was pissed off when I originally heard the initial thing that he said. What he initially said was that he has no problem with the offensive play calls, right? Everything's going to go through him if you have any issues, right? That's what he originally said. On Monday, he ended up doubling down. I didn't have a problem because I had to sleep, and I was like, okay, he's trying to back his guy, right? I didn't have an issue. Well, my issue was that he ended up tripling down on the Burns and Gamble show on Arizona Sports and said that, and he said that Drew Petzing, that was one of his best games called. That was one of his best games called offensively all year long. That's where I lost it a little bit. I'm like, okay, Jonathan Gannon, now you're doing a little too much. Because we have receipts that we were having our running backs run into a stack box with 7-8 people. And we have receipts that that's not okay. How are you going to say that this was one of his best games called? No. Absolutely not. Stop it. You stop right there, Jonathan Gannon. You stop right there. But that's a funny comment, though. You're right. Drama in the chat says, Mike, you're just yapping. It's time to move off. I mean, it's not my decision. It's not my decision. Y'all know that. I got no pull. I got no pull. I'm a fan like you guys. That's it. I'm a fan like you guys. I might be yapping a little too much. You might be right there. I don't disagree with you there. I got no pull. If this is what the Cardinals decide to do, I'm going to back it. If this is what the Cardinals decide to do, then we see who are actually Cardinal fans, right? Then we actually see who the Cardinal fans are. Because believe it, if Kyler gets traded, there's going to be a portion of Cardinal fans moving with them. That's fine. Bye. See ya. I'll be here. Because what's most important is this. The Cardinal. That's what's most important to me. The Cardinal's what's most important. That's what's most important to me. AZ. That's what's most important to me. Double. My guy, you just bought me a Big Mac, my guy. That's already what? Sheesh. You just bought me a Big Mac meal. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much. He's saying this. I don't really eat McDonald's very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. But he ends up saying this. Kyler Burger doesn't have awareness. I got you. Having awareness. Stepping in and out of the end zone, leaving the pocket when he does not need to. Running out of bounds before the first. Yeah. The stepping out of bounds where you don't know where the sticks are at and losing 2 or 3 yards is still something that he's struggling with. I don't think it really happened a lot for the 49er game, but still stuff that he's struggling with for sure. The not staying in the pocket, stepping up is definitely something that he's learned, at least in one half, that I really, really liked. I love the stepping up in the pocket. I love that he's sitting in the pocket and not having happy feet and just escaping when he feels the pressure coming down. But sometimes it just takes a second. Sometimes it takes a millisecond for your wide receiver to get open. Sometimes you need to keep your eyes down the field to allow the play to develop. And I truly think that Jonathan Gannon and probably Petzing got in his ear at half. I do. I seriously do. I think because he played differently in the second half. Appreciate you, Double. Thank you so much. Andy in the chat says, if we get Mac Jones, we ain't gonna get Mac Jones. Ian, what's up, Ian? If they move off of Kyler, JG better follow him out the door too. Damn, no love for JG, huh? No love for JG. I mean, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. It's crazy how 1 week changes to the next, though, right? It's crazy how 1 week changes to the next, because I think we all were in consensus in week 2 that Jonathan Gannon, and maybe even in week 1, or even coming into the season, ain't nobody was talking about Jonathan Gannon losing his job. Ain't nobody talking about Jonathan Gannon losing his job. But the moment he opened his mouth and came to the aid of his OC that everybody hates, that's where people are going to. That's where people have the issue, right? I don't blame anybody for having their opinions that they have. I really don't. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's take a couple more comments here. And then we'll be closing up shop. John in the chat says, Kyler Murray ain't not a Big Mac. That dude's a Whopper. I actually like a Whopper Jr. I was like, I like Whoppers, man. Don't disrespect Whoppers. But Whopper Jr., okay. Last comment. Let's take the last comment. Claymore says, Gannon is out. Oh, where'd it go? Gannon is out after the last game. He needs to start looking for another home in another state. Yikes. Well, let me ask you this, chat. And I hope we can get 50 plus responses here. What say you on Gannon? Let me know in the chat. Do you think this is his last year if it doesn't turn up? You think if Kyler goes, he goes too? Let me know in the chat. I'll give you 1 minute to respond. I hope we have so many answers here because I'm curious. I just out of curiosity, 2 or 3 weeks ago we weren't talking about Gannon, but I get it. The frustration that starts building when it comes down to the constantly supporting your guys that you know that there is a big issue with. And like I said, it's not all Petzing. It's not all Petzing. I want to be clear. I'm not one of those guys that want to fire him because it's all him. I don't think it's all Petzing. I think he's got a part into this, and it's a probably big part, but it's not all him. But what is your thoughts on Gannon? Last super chat, Double over here, man. Double is just over here, just firing it in there. He's saying this, you know what's important to Kyler? Call of Duty. That's funny. Sheesh. John says, after that comment, yes. Okay, there you go. Look at that. Okay, well, Justin says, no, JG stays. Okay. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I said this, and I'll say it again. I think JG should give at least one more opportunity if they move off of Kyler. But I know those comments rub the people the wrong way, so I don't blame it one bit. I keep him for one more year. This is how I feel about it as well. It happens once during the Niners game. I don't know really how that's real. I don't know why I highlighted that. That's on me. Chosen one says Gannon's got to go. The changes aren't being made to improve this team. Okay. Let's go with Justin. Justin in the chat says JG just needs an OC. He's good, and it's good culture for the. This is how I feel about it too. I'm on this side of you, Justin. I agree with you. W Gannon, but OC needs to retire ASAP. Yikes. All right, let's finish it off here with my guy Ian. If the offense continues to hinder this team and JG won't hold him accountable, I think we won't have any choice but to move off of him. All right. Well, with that note being said right there, let's close up shop. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Obviously, I'm so glad that you guys are obviously engaged in this conversation. I'm actually curious. Do you guys like this time better than the morning time? I feel like there's so much more people engaged around this time, around the 1 to 2 slot time frame. Let me know in the chat if we should actually move our live streams to more of an afternoon approach. Let me know in the comments below. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you guys are watching this on a playback, do me a huge favor, smack up the like button here on your way out. Subscribe. We're on the road to 18K. Cannot do it without you guys. Don't forget, we also do got the NFC West Roundtable later on today, where we will be chopping it up with everybody around the NFC West, talking things, everything NFC West, and basically recapping week 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be closing up shop right here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You guys are all absolutely amazing. Smack the like button, subscribe. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Cardinals.